his sons, having played sport at a local level in Leeds, Andy and Fast Signs have a long history of helping local sports clubs and organisations like Kippax Welfare Rugby League, Garforth Rangers Football Club and North Leeds Cricket Club with products such as events banners, honours boards and changing room signage, as well as providing signs and graphics to the mighty Leeds Rhinos and Leeds United for over the last 30 years. So if you're involved in a local sports club, get in touch with Andy and his team for advice and help with your signs. I'm sure he'll do you a great deal if you mention the Lot Pod. Hi everybody, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17A podcast, kindly sponsored by Fast Signs. Match review panel time, Eddie, producer Chris and Duncan here to review this one. Chris, how are you, dare I ask?
I'd love to say that I'm well.
But you've been lying.
Yeah, I'm hungover.
It's all self-inflicted.
It's what time is it? Nearly 8 o'clock in an evening, and I'm still hungover.
And you're still hungover. If you just see Chris just like ducking down, like to his left, he's just puking on my lap. He's definitely he's gonna puke. So hopefully he gets through it.
I'll get through it.
Try and run to the toilet if you are gonna puke. Don't puke on any of this stuff, this podcasting stuff. Duncan, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
All good.
Yeah, all good.
Looking good, smelling good. Feeling good?
Yep.
The exact opposite to me.
I'm just going to sit over here a little further. Smells like an absolute brewery. We're going to review the game, as we always do. We're going to hand out our Matt Frawley Fast Science Player of the Match. And we're also going to discuss some transfer news because it has been a pretty busy week this week for the Rhinos. And then, of course, we're going to preview the Hull KR game at the end of the podcast. So, match review panel time. Leeds Rhinos 28, Huddersfield Giants 6. What positives can the Rhinos take from this one, Duncan?
I thought it was a good crowd.
Mm-hmm. I've got that. Bumper crowd.
Good crowd.
Thousands and thousands of kids there.
Yeah, family day. Mm-hmm. They do that sort of stuff. We do that sort of stuff really well, don't we, to be fair?
Very, very well.
They turned a dull fixture into a bit of razzmatazz pre-match. On the pitch, Miller again, Ganon, McDonnell. Anyone else did I think? I'll probably go them. Jake Connor.
Again, welcome to the Jake Connor podcast.
Yeah, that's becoming a
JC.
That's
JC
becoming
pod. JC.
It's becoming a regular, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I just thought it was a good professional win. They weren't really.
It's not very much like Salford, wasn't it? It's like just get the job done.
Yeah,
and I think Brad Arthur would be happy because we just what he likes to say. We built the game, didn't we? We just tired them out first half, and then just got the rewards.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a weird match.
Any other positives from you, producer Chris?
I think don't cover it all, really. I think it was a good win, really. I did enjoy the second half. The first half was really boring.
Yeah,
but,
first half were putrid,
I thought we put on some nice tries. Bit of variation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was job done.
Yeah. It was tons of possession in the first half. Pin them in. Huddersfield pretty much giving us every chance. They were knocking on, losing the ball. Did you feel we left a lot of points out there in that first half?
I think our attack revolves a lot around Connor at the minute. Especially, I thought we missed Croft.
Yeah.
Particularly in games like that where you've got a lot of ball in the opponent's 20. Frawley's not really someone that's gonna. It's not his game really running and breaking line, or he's sort of someone that will steer you around a little bit. But
we're probably missing Cam Smith.
Yeah, I'd agree in the middle of the pitch.
Palace has played well, but he's not really that ball handling 13, and I think people underestimate how pivotal that 13 role is.
Yeah, it's easy to come in and fire shots, isn't it? At like why you're not creating stuff. I think probably our most creative players are outside of Connor and Miller. Obviously, they're creative in different ways, like Miller with his running game, Connor with his passing and kicking game. But I think Newman and Ash are going well in centre.
I thought Harry were great.
I thought he was really good on.
Again,
on Saturday. I don't know what day it is today.
It's Friday.
It's not an actual day Friday, for me. I don't know.
The last.
But yeah, I think
Chris is on the moon at the minute.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
It's in the depths of
Saturday didn't sound right. I was like, no, I definitely was Saturday.
But yeah, it was. I think I'm a bit more positive about the attack. I think it will click, and it will do at some point.
It's the easiest thing to fix, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we were shipping loads of tries and scraping through by 2 points, everyone would be like, defence is rubbish. That's hard.
We've still got a fairly hefty points difference.
That's harder to fix than it.
I think we're in a good place, actually. When you look at table...
6th.
But we're only 4 points off top. So, if we beat OKR, take 2 points off them and get 2 points, we're only 2 points off top.
2 points off top.
Yeah.
So I think we're in a good spot, actually.
Treble's on. We're on for the treble.
Or double.
Double. You won't get treble.
What am I on about? What the hell am I on about?
Well to win treble.
How is this guy on the podcast? I ain't got a clue what he's talking about. You know me. We're 5 years into this. You know me now. You know me. Callum Watkins made a memorable return. I think coming off the bench, making your debut, your second.
Debut.
I'm trying to think. Second debut. One of my pet hates coming to it.
But I feel,
but he's come back.
I think, whenever a player returns, I feel it's so much better from the bench.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's their own moment. It's their own.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's like coming back from an injury or something, or I've always felt like so much more like. It's the big build up.
Give him his moment.
He's back rather than. I know you get similar when you start. No, you don't really when you start. But
and he came on and did a really good run straight away. Didn't he?
It was outstanding.
Did a good run. Scored exactly 17 years after his first appearance.
I didn't realise that.
That's mental.
17 years after his first appearance. He had so much to this Leeds side.
Oh yeah. Well, he's what. I said we were lacking before McDonald went on this supercharged run. He must have listened to the pod when I said
he definitely
we've put it down to you.
when I said that him and Bentley weren't the answer at back row because he's been on fire. I'd love to see him do it this week against one of the stronger sides in KR. But no, on to Callum. It's just Callum, isn't it? Is the Callum that we've...
Kind of forgotten how good he was, to be honest, because you don't really...
Yeah.
I mean, he's played well for Salford, hasn't he? But, and he's always played well against us for Salford. But yeah, I've sort of forgotten how good he is.
Just how good he is.
What an athlete he is as well.
His late footwork near the line it makes people miss.
I have seen comments like, what we're signing old players for? And it's like banging your head, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, he's probably still international class, is Callum.
Yeah.
At his age. So why would you not get him?
He come on at 13, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And
I think he played everywhere packed in it at some point.
And as much as everyone goes, why are you signing him? Well, he's had 2 training sessions
and just added a little that class, didn't he?
And added the touch of class that it helps. He helps everyone in the side because it's that leadership quality.
It's like Hall, isn't it? Very similar. That they're both really well respected. And I think he's quite a quiet lad, isn't he, Callum? But so it's probably type that when he does speak, you listen to him.
You'll tune in.
You've got to have these players around. It's like in 2004 when we had Dave Ferner. That elder guy in the team who helps out the younger lads.
And we have been missing that a bit.
That leadership, yeah. I agree. Someone that's been there, done it.
Yeah.
Got the T-shirt. It almost feels... It's just normal. It's just natural for both Ryan and Callum.
Yeah, it's weird.
It didn't feel... I was trying to... Because I took my 2 boys and I was trying to... They're very young, but I'm trying to explain... Like, it's just... And I couldn't. It's like they've always been there, but they haven't. Like, it didn't feel like they'd come back. It just felt like they were just... They've just grown.
And it's a really good end to his career, isn't it? Because I don't know whether he didn't really leave in best of circumstances.
I didn't like the way he left.
No.
I
mean, club were a right shit show at that point. But, so it's nice for him to come back into a settled environment and a club that's... Well, we're on the up, aren't we?
But there's been people saying like it's jobs for boys, which it's not. Like,
it's absolutely ridiculous.
Him and Hall are like, if ever you're going to sign 2 players that you want, like Riley to learn off Hall, and you can see the impact that Hall's having on Newman. I think when
he's playing a lot better with him on his outside.
Harry and him have got such a good understanding. That ball from Harry to Hall was class. Yeah. But no, I just think it's easy to go, well, why are you signing a 34-year-old? Why are you signing a 37-year-old? But like, you just got to look at the stats from this week, the stats from Hall from every week back up the fact that he's a very, very good signing. The one game we played away at Catalan, without him, we struggled bringing the ball out.
Getting out.
He just doesn't really have a bad game, does he?
No.
And it'll be the same with Callum. I don't think I've ever seen Callum have what you'd call a bad game.
No. A below average game. No. And a great try.
Oh, his line were perfect, wasn't it?
Just absolutely. Chef's kiss.
And I thought, to be fair to Huddersfield, I thought they battled really the goal line defence in first half.
First half, yeah.
I thought they did really well, so it were bound to tell in the end, but
but they are dreadful.
It's not their fault, though, is it?
No. Was it 11 injuries?
12
injuries.
Something like that.
You've got a feel for them, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big lover of Huddersfield Club, really, but I don't think they had anything, but you've got to feel sorry for Luke Robinson, haven't you?
Yeah, he's on a hide into nothing.
Dunk says no.
AI, clip this. Clip that little bit. That's for TikTok. That'll get us 1 or 2 bites. James McDonald's pass for the your guy. We've all been there. James McDonald's pass to Jake Connor for his. I didn't even see it in real time. It may have just been the angle from where I am.
To be honest, he messed it up a bit. He passed way too early to Bentos.
Oh, to Bento, yeah.
And then he went, just have it back.
Just took it back and straight out the
back. And then that was a beauty, wasn't it?
But it was well executed. And
he got there himself, I think.
I think he would, but he wanted JC to get under it against his... But he's banging form, absolutely. Banging form.
He is. It's one of them. Whenever he does something well,
I tell you on the podcast.
you guys tell me on the podcast.
Don't worry, I've got egg on my face from Jake Connor. I will.
All my mates. I missed the Salford game because I was away in Portugal, and they were all messaging me after one. First try went over. They sent me a selfie of them going like that.
To be fair,
the fourth try, I was like,
yeah, he didn't have a great season last year.
No,
so that's probably what's
Look, I'll hold my hands up.
Just think how Eddie feels with Jake Connor.
It were good. It were a very, 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 very good ball, and it was something that I didn't think he had in his locker as well. I agree. Did not think he had that in his locker at all, and I think it's probably the confidence that he's playing with now. He's going to try things. I'd love to see it because him and Connor now are getting a real good understanding. Like, he broke the line a couple of times, which is again something that I've been saying we lack a bit in the back row in the pack, punching holes. But I really now want to see it against like someone that's up there. Like,
yeah, well, we're going to talk about it.
The next two, yeah.
OKR's a massive game.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's an absolute marker for this season. The pack, Duncan. You are the Lock Pod resident, prop forward, union member, cheerleader for the podcast. What did you make?
It's like a halfback now, though.
Yeah, that's true. Jim now, looking good. What did you make of the pack this week, Dunk?
Cooper Jenkins was class. Class.
Yeah,
really
you saw
good.
that one game.
I told you,
one game. Back in us.
No, I think it's got a really good balance, and it's something that we haven't had. I just think if you're really, really nitpicking, it's just when we play the better sides that you want to see the likes of Lasoni have a game like he did against Huddersfield when he comes on, knocks a few people around, upsets people. You want to see McDonald breaking the line against these sides, but the confidence we're playing with, we take that into Hull KR. You never know. It's going to be a tight game.
Yeah. You look at last couple of seasons, take Ledsky out, pack were knackered, wasn't it?
Would you have one?
Yeah,
and then he took a Ledsky out.
I think it shows how far we've come that you can take him out, and it didn't really.
And the fact he started resting people as well at back end of the game as well.
Yeah, taking people off.
We were never doing that, and I think that's just how we've come on. And yes, it was Huddersfield. People look at score and go, "We should be beating them by 50," but actually, you're probably chasing the zero more than I think we chase the zero more than we do.
I think
the
so.
points.
Brad Arthur said that, didn't he? He were really pissed off that they'd let that try in.
I think we're always going to be a bit scratchy in attack when we're playing with arguably not our starting spine or what it won't be. And I know it's an easy excuse to make, but there's not many sides in the comp that are going without a 13 and a 6. And when it comes to moving the ball out wide, they're the guys that you look to get that ball, get the likes of Miller in space.
Get them in, yeah.
Well, I mean, if we'd have walloped them 80-0, what would we have learned anyway?
Well, everyone had just gone at Huddersfield and should have beaten them
you
by that
would've
anyway.
learned
So, yeah.
So, it's a no-win situation, isn't it?
Yeah.
We beat them by enough. Good second-half performance. Yeah, the pack was outstanding, but I really like what Jenkins adds, and some hits he put in.
Oh, that one on Burgess. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's the doing the jobs. Like you can see behind the scenes, Arthur saying, "I want to front load your effort in the first half in defence," and you can see like where we're giving the ball away. They're not really bothered about kicking on the fifth tackle. It's like get them into a corner, and if we get caught with ball, we'll just get off our line and hit them hard.
Yeah.
But we've got people that can do that now. I think like back end of last year, like we didn't really have, we didn't have the fitness to do it because we'd not had a pre-season like we've just had. And we probably didn't have the personnel in the key areas to do that. Whereas now, like you look at the props, like Paliasi is playing 13, but when Cam comes back, you got 4. You know, you're going to be dropping a big. It probably would be Lasoni.
Yeah, and if he throws a ball like he did to Ganon again, I was screaming because he played really well, hadn't he?
Yeah.
And then just throws a forward pass to Ganon. And saying that he got one back in his face
from Bentley. Got one straight on his
noggin.
I think we get a bit loose but back end at game. Sort of last 20 minutes, 15 minutes, we'd made a lot of substitutions.
Yeah.
Like Jack come on, but there was still Frawley and there was still Connor on there, and there was Miller, and then he took Miller off.
Miller came off.
And then Connor went to fullback and Jack went into halves.
Yeah, there were a bit of disruption.
There was a lot of moving parts.
But I think,
last time.
like I said, it was good that he did that because how many games has Miller been back now from injury?
Yeah, still recovering from a bad injury.
Just, take him off for 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
He'd done enough, hadn't he?
He'd done his job.
Yeah.
It made sense. We mentioned the defence there. Another solid defensive performance. Huddersfield 6, Salford 0. 6 points over 2 games. It's obviously an enormous effort, and it's good, but it's going to be an enormous test next against KR. Should we be patting ourselves on the back?
No. I think it's a job done, innit?
Yeah.
2 games.
We've got
job done.
KR and Saints at Magic. They're massive for our season.
They're the real markers.
Win both of them, and we'll be up top 3 probably. With other results go our way.
We'll be on for the treble.
The thing is, when you're playing them sorts of sides, though, it's like when we played Saints in Cup. You have 10 minutes. You have a bad 10-minute spell. You lose the game.
It's literally that small a margin.
Because I think OK are beatable. They're not.
I think they're beatable, and they've got.
I think they're beatable with the style that we play as well.
Yeah. They've got Burgess and Davis missing, aren't they, for Friday night?
Perfect.
So it'll be two new wingers for them, but I'm excited for it because it's like we said before. It's the first game where
before the pod.
It's the first game where you're actually like, right, feels like the season's starting.
Friday night
under the lights, big game.
Yeah.
See what happens.
We shall. Morgan Ganon. Now we are going to obviously talk about Morgan Ganon.
Dunk's just preparing his thoughts.
He's having a quick swig of. Was it rum and coke? Yeah, brandy, rum and coke. It's quite the cocktail he's got there. He brought it himself, by the way, in like a little bag clinking his way up the stairs into the studio. We are going to obviously talk about Morgan's future in the transfer roundup towards the end of the pod, but his performance on Friday was brilliant.
It showed why.
He was
NRL clubs
absolutely outstanding again.
It looked like he was going to break through every time he went, didn't he?
Yeah, really good.
It's just a class act, unfortunately.
Anything else to add?
No, he were very good. He was very good.
And we'll leave it at that. Someone who was outstanding again, you briefly touched on it there, Lucky Miller. Scored the opening try, contributed plenty across the game, as he always does with his performances. And we said last week he's going to improve game on game on game. Now, he did come off towards the end, which absolutely makes sense, but It just seems to be getting better.
Well, he's just cut the errors out, hasn't he?
And
Which is
better and
what when we spoke to him, that was his focus, wasn't it? Cut the errors out. His try was class, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think you can tell he's worked on his fitness because he looked quicker than he did last year. He's just class act. I love Lackey anyway. But
I love how he comes out into the... anyone that's in front of him is instantly wanting to hand them off, no matter who they are. His steps, do you think he's just going to continue this form into perhaps a version of him that we haven't even seen?
I think he's thriving.
I think it's getting there.
I think he's thriving under Arthur as
Absolutely.
well. Like many, I think Newman's form has stepped on under him because you can see certain players react to certain coaches.
Yeah.
And I think how Arthur was saying, there was that press conference Arthur had after a game last year where he said, I just want him to run straight.
Yeah.
He's doing too much side to side. I want him to go. I want him to be more direct. And he's listened. The first try where Harry comes across the line, Miller was running right front back and he's picked a line going straight. And I think he's another one. We miss him when he's not there, and he has so much. Teams, when they kick the ball and they get it and he'll catch it 10 or 20 metres from his own line, he can get to the 40 or the halfway line on tackle one, because like you say, he always beats the first man. It's then, if he gets half a gap, he's got the pace to get through it. I think teams can't just sort of kick the ball downfield and go,
no,
we can just go up as one line here and just sort of take our time getting there. They've got to be on the toes and keep the
I was speaking to a Saints fan when we played, and I was just walking it round, and
I've told you not to do that.
And he called, what did he call Lackey? He said, he's just a pound shop Jai Field. I said, it's nothing like Jai Field.
No,
it's not even
anything like
he's
that.
more like a James Tedesco type player.
Yeah.
He's not a...
Absolutely.
I don't get the comparison.
No, he's someone that... I think Field more looks for the gap, doesn't he, instead of the contact, whereas
sheer pace.
Miller will he's happy for someone to come out of the line and try and tackle him, and he'll try to swat him off.
Yeah.
Totally different players.
But no, I think
Saints fans are clueless. Clip this AI.
I do think he's someone that is turning into what we've thought we were buying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's getting better and better each week, and long may it continue.
It were always going to be like that. He's got no experience, really, has he, in the scheme of things. So, but he suits Super League as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Without doubt.
So, class act, isn't he?
Made for him, absolutely.
I think he's a big personality within the team, and the team benefit with him being around on the pitch.
Yeah, I agree.
He talks a lot, doesn't he? Which is what you need from your fullback.
I agree. He's a big character for a big side who are on for the treble. Matt Frawley. I think now is the time, and we said on last week's pod, the review, I forgot we're playing, Salford. It's now time for Jacksonfield to start. I was disappointed.
I just don't think he sees him as a scrum half.
It could be that, but is it now time, even if it's at 9, for Jack to start? Because particularly now Croft's out for the rest of the month, I think he should be starting. You look at the progression, the outstanding progression of Riley and Alfie, who've both played over the last 18 months or so, featuring regularly for the first team. Both of them been brilliant. I think Jack requires the same. A run of games.
Yeah, I think, but
in this, particularly when Croft is out / was out.
Don't get me wrong, I'd have anyone in ahead of Frawley at the minute, because I just don't think he adds anything.
I think that's it. I don't think he was particularly poor.
Just don't add anything. But I think with Jack, it's got to be something like Chris says. He's got to see him as a 9, and if he does, then that's probably why he's starting Jared, because he wants the big defence, and he's been consistent in when he's bringing Jack on. Yeah, it's the 20 minutes to go. Right, we're bringing you on now with 20 minutes to go.
Do you see him as a 9?
I think I would like to see Leeds be a bit braver, and it's probably more of a club thing, as in with the youngsters. So when you look at like St Helens as an example,
they've thrown that kid in, haven't they?
They've thrown George Whitby in, and they've chucked out Johnny Lomax because he's been performing.
Where did they chuck Johnny Lomax?
Probably in bed.
Into a skip.
But I'd love to see Leeds sort of go take the reins off Jack a bit. I think we're kind of like holding him back a little bit, and we could just go, do you know what?
I'd do it.
You're ready now.
I'd put him instead of Friday.
If it were down to me, he'd start at 7 on Friday night, but he won't. He'll be on bench, and he'll get 20 minutes at end of game. He's very rigid in how he's doing things, but I would like us to. That's my only, and it's only a little small thing, and it's personal opinion. But I'd like to see us be a little bit brave, especially around Jack, 'cause I think he's got a lot of talent.
I agree.
Yeah, and he's bulked up a lot, hasn't he? So he's not getting pushed around like he was when he first
previously,
got into the team. So yeah, I'd play him, but I don't think
he's not going to get it. He's not going to, unfortunately, as much as I'd like it. The stats pack, the attack of the stats for this week. The Rhinos had 56% possession, 93% completion rate, 105.
That's what it was on
That's
Saturday.
what it was on Saturday. 31 completed sets, 1,288 metres, 312 tackles. I'll just go through towards the end here. 10 errors, 21 missed tackles, and then a few player stats. Miller, 16 carries, 558 metres.
Pretty good, that.
No, 214 metres for Miller. Harry Newman, we mentioned him earlier, 17 carries, 122 metres. Ryan Hall, 16 carries, 104 metres. Callum Watkins on his second debut. Sorry, Duncan. 11 carries for 92 metres. Thought he played absolutely awesome. Morgan Ganon, 13 carries for bang on 100 metres. And Cooper Jenkins, 17 carries for 112 metres. Is there anything else from this game before we move on, gentlemen? We'll put a bow on that.
I think we could have put a bow on it when Chris said job done, move on.
Yes, we kind of have, haven't we? We're not really.
We did manage to squeeze about 26 minutes out of that. So it's now time for us to decide on our Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match. But just before we do cast our votes, we would love you to play along at home. And again, if you're driving, just shout out your answer. Do not be watching this on YouTube. For what you watch it on YouTube for when you're driving. Anyway, comment below who you think was your Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match, and let's see if you agree with us. Lackey Miller for me. That's easy. I'll go first. It seems to be the easiest or one of the easiest decisions for me.
Him and Jenkins for me, but I think Miller just changed the game, didn't he?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Lackey Miller, easy one.
Was he yours as well?
It was mine as well, clean sweep. Easiest one, I think, at year, that.
Yeah.
One of,
yeah. Very, very easy choice. Congratulations, Lackey. You are the Matt Frawley Fast Signs Player of the Match. Before we preview the Hull KR game, we are just going to delve into some transfer news now, because there has been quite a bit. It's been a busy week for the Rhinos. We'll have Morgan Ganon for dessert, so we'll finish up on Morgan. We mentioned Callum coming in initially, I believe, for the rest of the season, but then with a potential deal or a deal for 2026.
Is that what they've said? I didn't
so.
really.
Is that something that's potentially going to happen?
Probably going to sign him for next year.
I think
they'll
so,
sign
yeah.
him up.
Are we all just nodding and saying, yeah, that's brilliant? That's excellent.
We said, didn't we, on pod? It's an absolute no-brainer.
We've been saying it for weeks and months. Just bring him back and it's done. Welcome back, Callum. It's amazing to have you. Riley Lum, a new deal until the end of 2029. First of all, it's great to see Riley rewarded for his fantastic. Yeah.
How old are we all getting? 2029.
2029.
That's the future.
That is Back to the Future hoverboard stuff, surely.
That was 2015. Never got me overboard.
No, still not.
Anyway.
Amazing to see Riley sign the long-term deal. Are we going to see Ryan Hall for the Rhinos next year?
He said he wants to.
He said, didn't he? Because it's his 19th year this year of Super League.
And he wants to go around
19th
again.
Year, is it 19th year of his career? I can't remember. Anyway, it's his 19th year of something this year. It must be career.
But they've both got an option, haven't they?
And he said, I don't like odd numbers or something like that. I don't want to end on 19. I'll go to 20.
So he wants to go again.
So if he wants to go again, for me, with how he is,
yeah,
as Chris would say, it's a no-brainer.
Absolute no-brainer.
So, I mean, Sevo will be back, or he touched for Michael.
So on the wings then, with Sevo, Lum and Hall, again, it's not...
Yeah, because Riley's young, isn't he? He's really young. And he's still got a lot to learn. He's playing well. Like, he gets shoved into touch a bit too often near his line, but he'll learn, won't he? I ain't got a problem with kids making mistakes.
I think that's what Langley said, didn't he? He was talking about Lum, and he said he's seeing things that he hasn't seen, and we're reviewing it with him each week, and then we can see that he's learning from it the next week.
Yeah.
Like start of the Huddersfield game, I thought he made a couple of wobbly. He looked a little bit wobbly, but then he reacted and he came back and he
came back brilliant.
I think that's what things impresses me. Young kids can sometimes put their head down, now, but he's not bothered, is he?
No.
Like, make a mistake, fine.
I'm still going to back myself.
Yeah.
I think he's brilliant. Great news, that one. James McDonald, 1 year deal. Does this make sense for both parties? I feel like this is kind of a middle ground. This is just my 100% just my opinion on it. It feels to me like I were hoping for at least a 2 year deal.
I think it might be a salary cap thing.
I think it strikes to that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of players out next year.
Yeah.
I think there's probably not the manoeuvrability for
longer term.
Manoeuvrability?
Yeah. I think if he carries on playing, he'll end
Let's
up with
go with it. I think it is a word.
If he carries on playing like he is, he'll end up with an extension early into
next year. But he said when he signed...
He likes the short deals.
He likes short deals because it keeps him on his toes. So, I mean, look, he's worthy of a year.
How good do they want to?
He's going well. So, yeah, another one that was a no-brainer.
A no-brainer.
Another no-brainer. Morgan Ganon.
Right. You don't need to go first, though.
The Rhinos, he's gone, by the way. He's just gone. The Rhinos are set to lose Morgan Ganon, one of our most highly rated younger players, when his contract expires at the end of this season. The New Zealand Warriors have won the battle to sign him. Looks like he's got a 3-year deal at the Warriors. The Rhinos... Come here, I'm choking up. The Rhinos... I've got a burp. The Rhinos were hopeful. Brad Arthur spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, saying Ian Blease is working with him. Brad Arthur felt it would have been better suited if he were to stick around and try and give the NRL a crack in a few years' time. But it looks like Morgan's exit will be announced within the next few days, maybe even once this pod is
They're waiting for
released
us to talk about it
here, and then they're going to release the news that he is or has left the Rhinos. Chris, what are your thoughts on...
I've got conflicting thoughts on this.
Strictly Come Dancing, what are your thoughts
on I'm disappointed he's going, so that's the one thought. I've seen like loyalty being thrown around. I get that, but I think my overriding feeling is he's a young kid. He will have been offered big money, I think, or bigger money. I don't think he's got any kids or anything, has he? He's only young.
No, I don't think so.
It's actually, that's the time that you want to be going over there because you've got no commitments. I think the carrot is just
too big and too juicy to take a bite
for him to turn it down. And I said to you on the pod before the pod,
the best pod.
I think that guarantees him an England spot.
Playing in the NRL.
Almost every player ends up playing for England if they're in NRL.
In the NRL.
So conflicting thoughts, really disappointed, but then I totally get why he's doing it.
Why he's done it.
That's my thoughts. Dunks.
Is that long enough, Duncan, for you to...
I've been thinking about it since...
You've been thinking about this a long time. You text me on Good Friday?
Good Friday, yeah. So I've got a lot of thoughts on it.
Buckle in.
So well, yeah. I disagree about loyalty. I think he owes us. My personal opinion. I think the club have stood by him through. Look, you won't wish what he had going on with head knocks on anyone. I think the club stuck by him, and I put something out on my Twitter saying something along the lines of I felt he owed us another deal, and people were saying about injuries and saying, so you believe any player that's injured should give the club more time. No, I don't. But I think when he was at a point where he was one head knock away from retirement at 20 years of age. Now, some clubs run differently. Could have gone very cutthroat and gone, see you later.
Yeah,
They give him a year extension, stood him down for the year, to make sure he were right. We bring him back. Boxing Day, he went off again, and everyone was panicking, going, "Is it a head knock? Not again, please no." And then it's like we said when it first broke that New Zealand Warriors were interested. I get it's the NRL. I get he's going to be paid more money, and I understand it's a better competition. However, caveat, I think he's been poorly advised, and I think he's gone.
He's gone to the wrong club.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
I think if he signed I believe my biggest problem with it is I believe he owes us a transfer fee for us sticking by him. I've no issue with him wanting to go. No issue with that whatsoever, because he's earned the right to go to the NRL. My problem comes from the fact that we've stood by him at his first opportunity. He has gone, see you later guys, I'm off.
Adios.
Ta-ra. Now, again, going to New Zealand have got 3 decent back rowers in Kurt Capewell. I can't pronounce the other guy's name, so I apologise. But there's and Nakora. There's 3 of them that are decent. Certainly 2 starting ones that are decent. So he's going to have to work to get in the team to start with.
Initially.
Now, it's a salary cap thing, isn't it? We can't compete with their salary cap.
No.
But I do believe he's been poorly advised. I think he one more contract. Even if he'd have turned around and gone, do you know what? And I think we sat here and joked, oh yeah, we'll get a 3-year deal. So he's 24, it'd be 24. Even if we turn around and said, look, you know, if an NRL team comes in and
you can go.
And
we'll put that clause
we're not
in.
Good, don't even have to put a clause in, just say to him, right, an NRL club comes in, as long as they pay, put a clause in and say, right, as long as they pay X amount of cash,
you can go.
On your way.
That's what I mean, yeah.
But
I do get that, yeah.
I think it's a bit... I think it stinks a bit, to be fair.
If you look at how Harry Newman dealt with it, because he could have gone to NRL when he signed his last contract.
And Union.
Yeah, he said, I owe the club.
And there's a lot of Leeds fans that forget that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Leeds fans who forget the fact that when Harry signed that deal, he probably turned down more money to stay with Leeds. Now, I know that's been an ethos in the past with like the golden generation and stuff. I don't expect players to turn down more money and stay. But I do. But I think when... I don't think we could have handled the Morgan situation any better.
No, I agree.
I don't know what we could have done.
We couldn't have given him... When he's out for a year and we've stood him down, you can't go there and go, right, we'll give you 3 years. Here's a 3, 4, 5 year deal. Because you don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back.
You
like I said, he's one game away from... You're gonna have to retire on medical grounds. So I think I'm pleased that it hasn't come to that, and he's showing the player on the pitch. That's the big, and I think that's the biggest disappointment.
Do you think Richard Agar's had been in?
Of course he has.
Because he gave him his debut, didn't he?
Yeah. I think, and there's probably a bit of that, but I think I go back to it. I think how we've handled him. I don't think we could have put any more into
his agent?
it. It's either Harris or John Clark. It's one of the two. I can't remember who.
Richard Agar definitely played a massive part.
I think, that's what I would assume.
He'll know the ins and outs of his deal, the money he was on. He'll have had all that intel for the Warriors to say if he's the best or one of the best.
Well, he'll have seen him on a day-to-day basis, won't he?
Yeah.
And he'll have seen what... I think... It shows that there's not many clubs that are sort of knocking down the door to sign Morgan Ganon, because he's probably an unknown quantity abroad.
Definitely.
In the NRL. And he's gone to a team which have got Leeds links. So...
I do wish him well. I do. I'm devastated he's leaving. Absolutely devastated.
He's only a young kid still as well, isn't he? So
and I wish
Duncan
him well.
Might be right that he's been badly advised, or...
My biggest concern is... And again, I know we all feel it's the wrong club.
It's easy for us to say that, isn't it? But personally, this is just my opinion. I think he'd be better at a Sydney club.
Well, Sam Tompkins was better 100%. Placed to go to the NRL than what Morgan Gannon is in terms of establishing the career. Yeah. He went at his peak and he failed at New Zealand Warriors. Yeah. Now, Morgan could go and make a right success of it
He
and
could.
do what Morley did. And I really hope he does. But I think it's a contract too early, or even a year too early, in my opinion.
Year too early in their own club.
Because I'd hate him to go and get another concussion or whatever, but then end up not playing first grade in NRL. It's just a waste,
it'd be a waste. No matter what money you sat on, you don't want to go to New Zealand and play
and not get a game.
Yeah. I'd have liked to see him at a Sydney club, I think.
I think that'd have been better suited.
Just if you're going to go to NRL, go in thick of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Lifestyle, amongst it.
But
I hope
anyway,
it works out. I'm devastated, but I hope it works out. Time to look ahead to the KR game where Morgan Ganon will be playing. Any changes to the squad, Duncan, at all for you?
Mixed back in it. Lasoni drops for me.
He might get. There might be some comeuppance for him manhandling that young kid at end. The tackle was fine.
Yeah.
Well, if he gets banned, Warrior Hargreaves is banned for punching.
I saw that. Yeah. I don't think he will. I don't think he will. But I read some stuff online. It was like he shot the kid or something. But it wasn't even a high tackle. But it is a bit. It's a bit of a shithouser, isn't it? A young kid.
Yeah.
He's playing Super League. What are you meant to do? Just hug him?
No.
I know what you say. I don't get that. I do not get the argument. Oh, he's only 18, so what? He's playing Super League. If someone smashed Riley Lum or Ganon when he was like 17 when he got run over by, or however old he was when Cassiano did him with elbow at Catalan.
He'd have been
what, 18,
do you know what it
19?
is? I think I'm thinking like that because I think Lissoni can come across as like a bit of a flat track bully.
No, he is.
So it's a bit. That's what I mean by it's a bit.
So you want to see him against?
If you do that against
Warrior Hargreaves,
fine,
I ain't got a problem.
Yeah.
But
Well,
a young 18-year-old kid he's just walloped. So you're like,
we all know. We all know that he won't. But yeah.
But I think that's
what
what's informing my opinion on it. Fair play, Sam. Yeah.
You did it to a kid. Let's see you do it to a.
I think personally, I think he's probably been the weakest of the pack over the first round. I wouldn't drop Bentley. I thought Bentley added quite a bit coming off the bench.
We both agreed, don't we? I like him as prop.
Yeah, I think he adds. I think he adds a bit coming off the bench. He gives us that work rate as well. I think. For me, Sam misses out. Oledsky comes back. Oledsky starts. Holroyd drops out of the bench. That'd be the changes I'd make.
Exactly the same.
Do you agree?
If I was picking the team, I'd have Sinfield in for Frawley, but that ain't going to happen.
Totally agree. I don't think Arthur will drop Lissoni.
I think he'll stay in. Keep him.
Yeah.
2 drops out.
I don't know. I think he'll drop Tom Holroyd more than.
Really?
Oh no!
Wow!
I don't think
That's all right, shout. But you think Arthur will?
Nah, it's got to be Lissoni. I don't think Holroyd
The proof
goes.
will be in the pudding. What?
We certainly don't want to be dropping him in final year of his contract. Not a
Prediction?
Yes.
Predictions?
Ooh, it'll be a belting game, I think. I can't wait because, like we said earlier, it feels like season starting.
Doesn't it?
First Friday night game.
HQ under the lights.
I think we'll beat it by 6.
You were going to say that, weren't you?
No. Well, yeah, it's a score either way. My worry is Frawley in halves. We've got to score. I think so against them. I think you've got to score. I think if a team scores 4 tries, they win the game.
Yeah.
Do you think we've got 4 tries in us against them?
On the attack last week in the first half, no. On the attack in the second half, maybe.
So potentially.
Sit right on the fence. I think, like Chris said, it's going to be a really. The only thing I pray.
I get the feeling you're going to tell me Leeds by 100.
No, I'm not. But I really hope either way the game goes, it is not decided by the man in the middle.
Yeah.
Let the teams just scrap it out. And obviously, if there's a blatant, if there's a blatant
couple of bell ringers,
if there's a blatant red card, it needs to be blatant or a sin bin. But let's not have something where the video ref gets involved and the ref. Do you know what I mean? I'd like it to be let the teams decide the result and it not be.
That's what you're saying
in the middle. I think I can't say okay. Leeds by 2.
I'm saying Leeds by 4.
Yeah.
We're all going for
2-4-6.
2-4-6.
I think it'll be a belting game. I think we've got
game.
We've got the sort of side that can beat OKR, I think.
Of course we have.
Because I think as Pack will stand
Yeah,
up.
I think our pack can match up to the worry is just the attack in their 20.
Yeah, because if you look at Old Derby, they got them on the fringes, didn't they? That's how they got the points.
Yeah.
But then they got battered.
I think we've got to be clinical in attack, and we haven't probably shown that since.
This is the game
Salford.
it clicks.
It doesn't need to be fancy in attack.
No.
It's just like it's just got to.
And we've got to take the points when they're on offer as well.
Got to get them.
to just keep the scoreboard going.
Keep it moving.
But yeah.
We shall see. Just before we wrap things up, we do have Gary Hetherington joining us for a very special Lot Pod special. We're filming with Gary this week down at AMT Headingley, and as always, we do want you to be a part of it. You can get your questions over to us. Just email them to lot17@outlook.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at lot_pod. We've had loads of questions around signing players we've missed out on, and Gary's favourite ever signings. So we're sort of trying to think of something
outside of that.
If you want your specific question, we've taken all them and we're going to, put them into the mailbag for Gary. But we have had loads and loads of those similar questions. So try and think of something else if you do want to send your question over to us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Duncan. Thank you to Chris. If you are watching us on YouTube, please do subscribe. Still, we're in for 2,000 now, so watch out, Mr. Beast. If you're listening on Spotify and iTunes, please leave us a 5-star review, and don't forget you can follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky and TikTok. If you just search the Lot Pod, it'll keep you up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. Thanks to these two, thanks to you for watching and listening, and we'll see you all for the Hull KR Match Review Panel podcast. Take care.